ITT providers should use the superpower of looking resources because it really raises the game for the students that you're teaching. It helps them to understand how to teach the children in school, but also for quite a lot of them, it helps them to understand the context themselves. As a primary school teacher, there's so much to take on board. So I need to make sure I'm only sharing high quality resources with the students, which is why I use the superpower of looking. There's quite a few teachers who lack confidence in teaching art and design. Resources like the superpower of looking are really going to support them to gain confidence.
Art specifically, I'd find it really difficult to stand up next to a painting and go right into depth with it. Using the superpower of looking website, it's just got everything there for you. With like the Zoom feature, having a look, asking them deep questions. You could also use it in the Key Stage 1 class, even early years. Get that vocab going and jump into the painting itself.
The superpower of looking resources have really benefited the trainees in terms of giving them confidence to be able to talk about artwork. We're all pushed for time on an ITT course, and you want to maximise the amount that they can get done in the time that you have to work with them. And something like this really maximises what students can get out of it in the time that they have available to do so. One of our trainees recently actually did a phenomenal job using these resources in her school to deliver a lesson in her placement setting. She worked with her mentor to take the Surprised by a Tiger piece that is on the superpower of looking resources and turn that into a really brilliant lesson that was observed. She did a fantastic job. Louise has developed her skills, and I think the mentors learned something really valuable in the process.
I started my placement at Hassel Primary School in September. Today, in our lesson, we're going to be using the superpower of looking, and we're going to really zoom in when we're looking at a piece of artwork. Zoom into his face, what's happening?
The wind is blowing, the whiskers are going that way. I think it might be growling.
The resource that we used for this lesson has got lots of example questions. It was really engaging with the students where they could actually use the zoom in, and that helped them to look in a lot more detail at the painting and help with their vocabulary and discussing the different subject-specific things.
Something that I really love about the superpower of looking is that I'm able to talk about different key elements within the curriculum. So in my lesson I was able to talk about line, composition and colour and get the children to really think about how the artist has used those elements. I think the children are definitely becoming more confident with their visual literacy. The more we went through and the more we got into the discussion, the more that they were coming up with good ideas.
Obviously, our trainees as beginning teachers, particularly in primary education, there's a myriad of subjects that they need to engage with. But all the time we try and get them focusing on their learners, on the children and the young people, and how their work and how their curriculum enhances the well-being of those young people as well as their life chances. And then if we think about professional behaviours, it's widening our beginning teachers' understanding of what it is to be a public professional who teaches and their wider responsibilities. So for trainees to do that early in their career, they need access to resources that are going to give them the confidence to be able to enrich the lives of the young people that they're working with.
During placement, I've been teaching various art lessons and we use the superpower of looking. The most helpful part for me was all the different questions and how open they were, because it didn't limit the children.
I think it's really helpful because if you can't physically take the children to an art gallery, then they can have the art gallery in their classroom.
It is so fundamentally important that we get a decent quality art and design education into our ITT settings. We really need to encourage creativity. Yes, the fine arts, but there's also the performance arts, the visual arts, and they've for so long been the underdogs of the curriculum, and it's time that art had its time to shine, and I think that these resources will really help it to do so.